What's good with the YouTube? Happy Sunday. Hope y'all having a blessed and dope day today. This is episode 4. Now, episode 4, a Sunday service. So if you're enjoying the content, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, share the video. These are all the things that help push these videos out into the YouTube space. And your boy really does appreciate it. I am locked in. Are you locked in? Because man, today was such a better Sunday compared to last week and the past couple of weeks. If you've been tuning into these videos, you probably, or you should know, I should say, that I mentioned, me and the missus was going through a situation that was like weighing heavy on us, like really stressful, like we just kind of going through it, you know what I'm saying? And man, oh man, did the Lord come through and break through. Like ever since I've been getting, the good news, your boy just has been overfilled, and I just wanted to say glory to God. You know what I'm saying? Elder Fred Blackburn, he normally does that at church, but when I tell you that moves you, it moves you. And ever since, like I said, things have changed. That's just how I felt. Like I just been holding in, this goodness, the spirit. I just been filled with the spirit. That's a better way of putting it. I just been overjoyed and just filled with the spirit, and just could not wait to let that out at church today. But I hope y'all are having a good day, and I want to hop into this testimony. I remember Fabi in the comments saying we'll be waiting on the testimony. And man, oh man, it may not be when you want it, but the Lord is right on time. So to kind of give y'all a little backstory on what's been going on, we were told that we had to move from where we were staying at, and they were only giving us until the end of April to move out of our place. We had reached a status with me moving in with my wife and both of our incomes being combined now, and just elevating at both our jobs. We got to a point where, although the threshold of rent had increased, I think it had maxed out, and they told me they were going by new guidelines, and that we basically made too much to stay where we were staying at. Now, when we did the recertification, the lady was telling us that, if you do this, you make this, and this is totally fine to stay here. Like, everything has an explanation. If you all are saving, you could be saving for a home, which we were, it's totally fine. Like, everything was all good. Like, everything was all good. Yeah. Like, last year when we signed the lease, but changes were made, and they let us know 2 weeks ago that they were terminating our lease on April 30th. So no matter what, we had to be gone by the 30th of April, which put a huge strain and a wrench in our plans, because we were going through this first time home buyers program, where they work with you. They set you an appointment with a counselor, go over your budget and finances and everything, like all your debts, all of that, your tax returns, all of that. Well, we don't meet with our counselor until May, and we don't know exactly when, because this is our first time going through the process, how long it was going to take to actually, buy our first home. We know another couple at the church that went through the program, which actually recommended it. Shout out to the Masons, because they are dope, for putting that bug in our ear. And they were able to buy their first home. It's beautiful. Like, it's just a perfect situation. So we were going down that avenue, but things got sped up, and we had this, ticking clock in our head, to where we just had to, find something, the kids go to school in the county or the district that we in. So that was a concern, trying to find a place that was, in the area and all these things. So we came across one leasing company or one realtor, whatever you call them or whatever, and we applied through them. We did get approved or whatever to pick one of the homes to rent out of, but when we got approved on Friday, this was like a couple of Fridays ago, when we did get approved, the home that we saw as perfect, you know, being in the county that we were in, had enough space for us, you know what I'm saying? We weren't looking for nothing too crazy because, like I said, we just need something for a year until we can just move on into our next place. Not even a year. I don't know how long the program takes to get you placed or find a home, but we was thinking no more than a year, you know what I'm saying? So found a place with enough bedrooms, one bath, which is, you know, when you got my wife and two other girls in the house, yeah, that was a concern, you know what I'm saying, already, because they be in the bathroom, you know what I'm saying? If you a girl, you know, a woman, all that, y'all be in the bathroom doing y'all thing, makeup, all of that. So that was kind of a concern, but we were like, hey, whatever is your will, Lord, you know what I'm saying? If we got to do one bathroom for a while, because where we stay at currently, we got two bathrooms. So if we have to downgrade to one bathroom and make it do what it do, we gonna make it do what it do. So landed on the spot that we saw as perfect, excuse me. And when we did, you know, because I think it was on a Friday, we didn't get in touch with people until like Monday. They let us know that there were two other applicants on the residence or whatever, and we were third in line. So we like, all right, we'll just, you know what I'm saying, wait our turn. Hopefully something falls in our, you know, our lap. Monday went by, Tuesday went by, we reached back out to see, you know what I'm saying, what was the movement on the other applicants and trying to figure out how long. What is this? Piece of hair, yeah, that's what it was. We had to figure out how long it would take, or how long the applicants had, you know what I'm saying, to apply or to, you know, put down the first month rent, the deposit and all that. So they replied back 24 to 48 hours after, you know what I'm saying, they get approved. That's how long they had. Well, a whole almost 2 weeks went by, and I'm counting the days. I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, it's only 2 days and 48 hours. Like two other applicants are in front of us. What's going on? So they told us that, you know, they kind of like to make things fair and work with people and all that. So we just took it as the person told them, you know, payday or whatever like that. So we like, all right. So we started to pivot. And, you know, like we said, since we was on a, you know, time crunch or whatever, the sand out the hourglass is falling, you know what I'm saying? Let's try to work two avenues or whatever. We applied somewhere else and we moved, because you have the option of moving your application once you approve to one of the other homes on their website. So we moved our application over to a house on the south side, which was like 20 minutes from where we stayed at. Definitely would have been a situation where we had to figure things out, you know what I'm saying, with community, with taking the kids to school, that commute. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, but hey, if that's where you want us to be, Lord, like, that's what we gonna do. So we put our application in over there. We waiting to hear back from them on that. And in the meantime, we applied with a whole nother company just to see, because we just gonna apply. Now, mind you, it is $50 per applicant, you know what I'm saying, for an application fee, which I feel like it's the biggest scam, because I know they got some kind of automated system that's plugging all of this electronic information that we put in on the website into another software or interface or something like that. I know if they are typing all this stuff in manually, then that's crazy work. But even still, $50 for an application fee, and all y'all doing is clicking buttons. Okay, so we got the application at A location. We put in applications at B location because, you know what I'm saying, we got to see what it is or whatever. Check in on A application, and as we're going to go and view the home, we get there and the key is not in the box. Like, the key is not there. You know, they got the situation where, you know, you can do the self tour, you know, they give you a little code and you can go in the house or whatever, and the key will be in like in a little lock box. So we got the code, open up the box, no key in the box. So we like, dang, we done drove all the way over here, you know what I'm saying, to see this home, because it wasn't one that we were in love with, but it was like, hey, if this is your will, Lord, this is where we gonna be type home. I get there, it's on the main street, and I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? Looking at the area, I'm just like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? Looking a little rough, you know what I'm saying? Now, I come from the city, you know what I'm saying? But that don't mean I want my kids to be in the same, you know what I'm saying, environment that I grew up in, because I knew how that was growing up. I knew what that did to me, you know what I'm saying? Like, and ain't nowhere safe, you know what I'm saying? That's the city in me saying that, because you could be anywhere and anything can happen. But as long as I can help it, I'm gonna try to provide a nice, you know what I'm saying, unhood scenario for them. So we called them. They talked to the property manager, and they saying that okay, they gonna get around to, you know, dropping off a key, but it won't be today. So in the meantime, I forgot to throw this in there. We had found another house or whatever, like out in St. Charles, which was about the same distance, was a better fit for us. And when she had called that morning at point A, there were no applicants on that house, but the rent was more, and that was why we were hesitant on, you know what I'm saying, moving out that way, because it was like one of the higher rents or whatever out of all the properties that we looked at. No applicants on that house. Tell me why, after we make it to the south side at the other residence that we moved our application over to, there was several applicants not on that one. There was another applicant on that house or whatever. So it gets to the point to where the other applicant had basically closed on the house that we could have had, or, you know what I'm saying, looked into, that we thought that was perfect for us. So after, you know what I'm saying, not being able to get into that south side location, after getting told the news of the home that we wanted, you know what I'm saying, really wanted, was no longer available, like, we were just like in a funk, like kicking ourselves. Like, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, babe, when you told me this morning, you know, nobody else was on it, we should have switched our application over there. We would have been the first ones available for that house, like all of these things. So we basically riding way out yonder to look at another property that, you know what I'm saying, we, like I said, even higher, even more expensive than the last place we looked at, even further than all the other residents and stuff. But at this point, we in scramble mode, because they only had like maybe 9 homes on their website, and, you know, they were getting basically, you know, snatched off the market. You know, I guess this is moving season around this time, and we get a phone call from them as we are headed out to that other location, and they let us know that the application for the south side had been rescinded. Said something about the credit score or something like that wasn't what they were expecting it to be, or, you know, something along that lines or whatever. And both of us kind of, you know what I'm saying, puzzled by that, because I'm looking at my credit score now and I'm like, where y'all pulling it from, you know? But I digress. So we disqualified for that threshold, and now we kind of getting pushed back down into this $1,500 threshold home, which the only one that we wanted is already, you know what I'm saying, being, you know, closed on or whatever by somebody else. They actually at one point told us that the house was no longer available. We had asked so many times, I don't know if it was true or they were just tired of us, but they told us the home was no longer available. So I'm just like, what we gonna do now? What are we gonna do? Like I said, we applied at place B. They come back, reject our application or whatever. We even applied at place C, or whole nother, you know what I'm saying, realtor or, you know, rental, y'all know what I'm saying. So this is 3 separate rental applications that we didn't pay for, $300 plus, because 2 of them was $55 per applicant. And place B and place C basically told us, nah, you know what I'm saying. The wife was like, maybe you should just, you know, apply by yourself, see if they just take your credit score and that will work. And I'm telling her, I'm like, babe, I'm kind of all, you know what I'm saying, application feed out. Like if we do this again, we 350 going on 400 in the hole just on application fee. That's craziness, you know what I'm saying? So we kind of back at square one, and we called point A because at this point we just playing shuffle around with our application or whatever. And the residence that I saw on Friday, it was more than the one that was in the county, and it's maybe 20 minutes to where we are, so around roughly the same distance. But this spot looked like it could be, you know what I'm saying, have the most potential out of all of them, and it was less than the other two that was further out. So I'm just like, babe, what you think about this area? And she was kind of like, nah, you know what I'm saying? She didn't really want to move because she didn't want to move too far from the kids' school. You know, school year almost out, but you know what I'm saying? Like she was just keeping that in mind for being mindful of, you know, the commute and all those things. So by the time we got our head wrapped around, you know, moving our application over to that area or to that location, that was from a Friday to a Monday. So when we reached out to him, I actually reached out to him Sunday night or whatever, because they have like this text portal, and it seemed like they were communicating throughout the weekend. I didn't know if they work weekends or not or whatever, but I just was like, hey, we need to hop on this place because they just put it on there. Reached out to him Sunday. We both reached out to him Monday morning, and by the time they got back to us, they were basically saying there's several applicants on that house. I'm just like, dang. I'm like looking at the place, you know what I'm saying, looking at the basement, looking at the upstairs. I mean, I see why it's a bunch of applicants on there. And I'm like, I don't know what we gonna do. I guess maybe we'd just, you know, do the townhouse thing, maybe get an apartment, you know, like there are other options, and we did know that or whatever, but it was the fact that we were coming from an apartment, and, you know, living under somebody, living next to somebody, you are, you know, subject to your neighbors, you know what I'm saying? Like in our current situation, cigarette smoke all in the hallways all day long. You know, you got music being played, you know what I'm saying, at all times of the day. Like I'm a DJ, I love my music, don't get me wrong, but I don't want to hear, you know what I'm saying, money bag yo at 3 a.m. You know, when you got a baby, come on now, like just be courteous, especially when the walls are thin. And I don't even know if it's so much the walls being thin, just everybody got a sound system or a sound bar or something going on in their house to where, you know what I'm saying, they just crank it up. You know what I'm saying? So we were trying to avoid that at all costs. So we basically in the situation where we like, all right, well, maybe we'll do like one of the Airbnb situations. We got this meeting with the council in May. Maybe we just get like a furnished home, put all our stuff in storage and all that, and something that we necessarily didn't want to do, but we basically, you know, putting all the options on the table, because the last thing we was gonna be is homeless at the 30th. Like that was not gonna happen, you know what I'm saying? Like, so whatever we had to do, we was gonna do it. But yeah, I say all that to say that we moved our application back to where we were third in line again on the house that, you know, basically wasn't available. But, you know, whenever I asked her about this location that I'm talking about now, she said, you mentioned it about it, you asked us about this location yesterday, do you want to move your application over? And I was just like, yeah. Several applicants are not move us over, because if we in line, what's the worst? We might as well be where, you know, in line, where on a house that we really want to be. I keep on saying where. We might as well be in line, you know what I'm saying? If you're going to get something to eat, you might as well hop in the line where you really want the food, basically. So that's what it was. Hop back in line over there. And when I tell you, it wasn't 24 hours later where we got a text like almost at 9 o'clock saying that we were approved on that residence. And I'm just like, wait a minute, am I seeing what I think I'm seeing? Because this home costs more than the one that y'all said that we weren't approved for. So let me make sure this is correct. So we trying to hold it in because we like, and they had already, you know what I'm saying, put the kibosh on one of our houses or whatever, and this one costs more. Did she make a mistake? Did she meant to send this to somebody else? You know what I'm saying? So we reach out the very next day, and man, she confirmed. She was talking to us. She's like, yes, the Griffins, we talking to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all were approved. When would you like to move in? I'm just like, man, I need to see this in writing. Where that document you said we supposed to have? That's how me and my wife was, because we like, and we've been hearing so much at this point on this emotional roller coaster ride, trying to find, you know what I'm saying, the best place for us and the kids. And man, it was true. We end up, you know what I'm saying, going from being approved to signing the lease, you know, viewing the place and all these things. And when I say, I am so thankful, I am so, you know what I'm saying, appreciative of the Lord and what God has done for us. Like, I can't even put it into words, but I've never been in a situation like this where, you know what I'm saying, I had to be out of a place, you know what I'm saying, in a certain amount of time. Like, I done been in some holes, but this felt like one of the deeper holes, you know what I'm saying, especially when you got your family on your back. Like, man. But I was in church today, and the word was speaking to me where Brother LT was talking about trust in the Lord and how he was going through a situation, and his brother told him that he didn't trust the Lord. And that's when it dawned on me, because through me trying to be faithful, through me trying to, you know what I'm saying, I'm believing in the Lord and stuff like that, but I'm stressed. I'm going through all these things. That was a clear sign that I didn't truly trust the Lord through this process. And boy, have I gained overwhelming amount of trust in him now. I wrote this down, Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 and 6, where it says, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take. Man, like I say almost every Sunday, it's something that sticks out in the sermon that like slaps me right in the face, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm still walking my path, you know what I'm saying? I'm still on this journey. Like, I'm still trying to make myself a better man, a better person, a better, you know what I'm saying, Christian, better to, you know, all the way around, you know what I'm saying? And the fact that, you know what I'm saying, that's what the Lord spoke to me today. You just like, you didn't trust me, you know what I'm saying, but I bet you will now, you know what I'm saying? And I will, you know, so that's what I want to just kind of lay out through all of this testimony, through everything I was saying. Like, trust in the Lord, because like I said in the previous video, he'll make a way out of no way. And that showed what he did, because had we looked at that house on the south side, we probably would have took it, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was the Lord, you know, blocking that, because we was in a position where we was going to take whatever we can have just to have this weight off of our shoulders or whatever. Like, the house that we originally fell in love with the one bathroom, the Lord knew that wasn't going to work. The Lord knew that wasn't enough for us, you know what I'm saying? But he provided a home, you know what I'm saying, to where we got enough bedrooms, enough bathrooms, and more than enough space, you know what I'm saying, to grow in, you know what I'm saying. But man, that was a long, you know what I'm saying, testimony and story. And I just had to take a deep breath. I'm just still in awe, you know what I'm saying, of like the power of the Lord sometimes. Like, we know he's almighty, he know he can do all things, and we say these things, but y'all know seeing it and, you know, believing it are two totally things, and we have the two totally different things, and we got to line those two things up when it comes to the Lord. Like, so trust in God, like, all glory to God. And yeah, that's what all I want to leave y'all with. Appreciate y'all for listening to me today. Sunday service episode 4. I want everybody, you know what I'm saying, to be more like God. And when I say that, you know what I'm saying, like, I ain't saying be a holy roller. Like, who am I to say what or who to be? I just know that, you know what I'm saying, we supposed to, you know, it's about, like we were talking in elevators live yesterday when he was talking, I'm saying something about church. Like, it's about what's in your heart. You know, I know everybody don't go to church every Sunday. Heck, I don't go to church every Sunday or whatever, but the Lord knows your heart, and God is everywhere, and just be mindful of that and know that. So like I said, be more like God. Tell somebody you love them, and I will see y'all in the next one and in the new home. Matter of fact, a little spoiler alert, if you want to see it, go ahead and tap into that Dante London video, and y'all will see more of what I'm talking about in reference to the home. But appreciate y'all. Enjoy the rest of y'all day, and I will holler at y'all in the next one.